Hi, and welcome to a good, basic, well-rounded, all levels yoga class. Let's start on the back. Let your spine unwind from the crown of the head down to the tail. Wiggle your toes. As you inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Take a big stretch. As you exhale, hug both knees in one at a time in towards your body and rock side to side, massaging your back on the floor. Now cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh and thread the needle coming into figure 4. Hands can be in the left knee crease or the front of the shin. Pause and hold. Rocking a little bit is totally fine. The collarbones are broad, so the shoulder blades are melting down into the ground. And then flex both feet if they aren't already. Breathing and tuning into that flow of the breath in and out of your nose. That right knee draws away from your face a little bit. And then hug the legs in. As you draw that left thigh in, keep pressing that right inner knee away. Then lightly uncross. Full happy baby, reaching for the outside edges of the feet. Soles of feet face the sky. So the heels are right over your knees. Broad chest. Again, and a nice line of energy flowing from crown to tail, from the base of the skull, right through the tailbone. Then release your feet, cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Thread the needle again, coming into figure 4, with hands either in the knee crease or in front of the shin. And of course, if that's way too intense, you could always just have your right foot on the ground instead, and have the left ankle crossed on top in that reclined pigeon pose, aka figure 4. Coming back to the breath and letting your mind linger on the area of the most sensation as we wake up our hip joint. As you traction that right thigh a little more toward your body, press your left inner knee away, and then uncross back to a full happy baby, reaching around for the outside edges of the feet. Soles of feet face the sky. And we're rocking. And we're waking up the core by interlacing the hands behind the head. Inhale, open your elbows. Exhale, bring your elbows toward your shins. And we'll do it a few times. Inhale, open. Exhale, elbows toward the shins. Inhale, open. Exhale, try to hold elbows to shins, shins to elbows, then release, soles of feet together, let your knees splay open. Take a cactus arms in your Supta Baddha Konasana, letting the knees splay open and letting the backs of hands rest, feeling really open across the chest from elbow to elbow. And then gently squeeze the knees in and bring your feet mat width distance apart and start to windshield wiper the knees. Bringing out. Take your time to roll over onto your right hand side, resting the ear and the crook of the arm for a moment. And then gradually, we're going to press up and make your way up into your crossed leg seat. Either ankle crossed on top. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down right through heart center and set your intention for the rest of this practice today. What do you want to cultivate here in this time on your mat? And then start to lean forward and take your hands in front of the shins. And we're inhaling to spread the chest forward, look forward or up. And then when you exhale, scoop the belly back. Wrap the ribs in toward the spine, chin toward chest. And we'll work with that a couple times. Inhale, broad collarbones. And exhale, belly in. And inhale, lengthen, little back bend. And then exhale, belly in. Now inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Reach up. As you exhale, reach your fingertips forward. Squeeze your knees in. Uncross, flex your feet in a half Navasana, Ardha Navasana. It's half boat pose. Lift up through the chest. Inhale, lift your heels a little more. Exhale, cross either ankle on top and roll over the knees. Come into tabletop position. Fan the fingers wide. From tabletop with toes tucked, extend your right foot straight back. Press the right foot toward the back wall. Lift your lower belly. Then extend your left fingertips forward, thumb up. Look forward. Inhale, lift the heel and hand. Exhale, release hand and knee. And we'll do the other side. Extend your left heel straight out. Left hip point rolls toward the floor. Hover your right fingertips. If it's available, extend your right fingertips forward, thumb up. Feel that head of the left thigh bone hug into the hip socket. Look forward. Inhale, lift a little more. Exhale, release hand and knee. And send your hips toward the heels. Toes are tucked. Slide your hands forward, coming into child's pose, balasana. Press the heels of the hands away from your knees. Stretch the sitting bones straight back. And inhale, slide the chest forward, look forward or up. When you exhale, come on up into downward facing dog. And in downward dog, you can peek and see that your first fingers are parallel. You spread the fingers really wide, rooting down, especially through the index finger and thumb. Then take a look at your feet. See that those second toes are about parallel. Your knees open slightly so they don't knock in. And then you lift and spiral the inner thighs up toward the sky, finding a hollow belly at the end of the exhale. Downward dog. From downward dog, lift your heels high, come onto tiptoes. Keep lifting the sitting bones up, tiptoe forward, right between the thumbs. And when you get there, take a fold in Uttanasana. Wrap your hands behind your calves, let your head hang, and bend your knees as much as you need to melt the belly over the thighs. Crown of head spills down toward the floor. Then press through the feet, gather the belly, slowly come on up. Coming through Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, look up, palms press. Exhale, bring the hands down right through heart center. Bend your knees as you fold down into Uttanasana again, the standing forward fold. Inhale, press through the feet, lift the belly, lengthen through the crown, look forward. As you exhale, bend your knees, plant the palms, take a big step back into plank pose. Lift the back of the head, lift your belly. Lift your heels so the femur bones lift right up into the hip sockets. And then touch your knees down. Hug your elbows in, come all the way down onto your belly. Take your feet flat. Keep hugging your elbows in as you inhale into a cobra back bend. Shoulders back and down. And then exhale, lower the heart. Tuck your toes. Send the hips toward the heels. And lift the knees. Float up to downward dog again for a couple breaths. Now, if downward dog gets too much, you can always come out into a tabletop or child's pose. Now lift your heels high, come onto tiptoes, and tiptoe forward right between the thumbs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. And we completed one sort of gentle, moderate sun salutation A. Now let's layer on. Inhale, sweep up, look up, palms press. Exhale, bring your hands through heart center. Bend your knees quite a bit. Release your hands to the floor or blocks. And then step your left foot back. Left knee comes down. Keep the left toes tucked under. Sweep your arms overhead into crescent lunge. Keep drawing your lower ribs toward your belly button. Lift the side waists. The biceps hug in toward the ears. Lift your pinkies up. Look up toward the sky. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands to frame your front foot. Then take your left hand a little wider than the shoulder. Right hand onto your back. Look to the right. Take your right hand actually and swipe it left toward that hip crease, toward that hip point. As that hip point rolls toward the ground, keep pressing through the ball of your right foot. And inhale and exhale. Hands frame the front foot. Slide your right leg back, coming into child's pose with toes tucked. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, lengthen, lengthen the sitting bones out and back. And then lift the belly way forward. Exhale, come all the way down onto your belly. And take your feet flat, zip your feet together, reach your arms around, root through the pelvis. Inhale, lift up, Shalabhasana, locust pose. And big full inhale, fill the belly, reach fingers back. Exhale, palms under elbows, tuck your toes. Press on back to downward dog again. And then lift the heels high, come onto tiptoes. Tiptoe forward right between the thumbs. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down right through heart center. Inhale, reach on up. Any amount. Exhale, let's swan dive down. Crown of head last at the end of the exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, hands on the floor or 2 yoga blocks if you need them. Step your right foot back. Touch your right knee down. Back toes are tucked. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Lower ribs are knitting in. Draw your arms back. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, hands frame the front foot, and we're coming into the twist. Right hand a little wider than the shoulder. Left hand on the back and swipe it right. Look to the left. Keep pressing through the ball of your left foot. Inhale into any constriction. Exhale, release your left hand down. Then slide your left leg back, hips to heels. Child's pose. Good. Now from tented fingers, Hasta Bandha, lift the center of the palms up, right toward your underarms. And lift the belly, step your right foot forward, right between the hands. Right knee is over the heel. Now send the inner thighs apart, look forward, look up. Inhale. And as you exhale, lift your left knee, spin your left heel down, and cartwheel up into warrior 2. Drop your pelvis down. Let's turn our palms up, palms to face up. Let's take our left elbow, wrap it under the right elbow, and come to eagle arms. Keep wrapping your right knee open and breathe space into that area between the shoulder blades. And the gaze is right between your forearms. Now straighten that right leg, lift the elbows up away from your tailbone, look up at the fingertips, then exhale, open out into warrior 2. From warrior 2, straighten that right leg all the way, turn your right toes in, find a wide-legged stance, and then pivot your left toes toward the back of your mat, drop your left knee, gaze over your left fingertips. We're lifting up through the side waists. Now turn your palms up, reach the fingertips away with soft elbows. Inhale, lift up through the back of the skull. Exhale, take your left elbow underneath the right and hook the palms together for eagle. So, elbows are going to lift away from your tailbone. Keep wrapping your left knee open and gaze between your forearms. Now, straighten that left leg. Inhale, lift the elbows, look up at the fingertips. Exhale, release back to warrior 2. And then straighten your left leg, turn your left toes in, your left heel out. Now turn your palms up and come into a cactus with palms facing your ears. Heels in, toes out. Bend down into goddess squat. Nice and strong. Draw your lower ribs in. And then inhale, reach on up, look up, palms press. Exhale, goddess squat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, oh, my kids. You can probably hear them. Inhale, reach on up. Maybe you can't. Exhale, goddess squat, nice and strong. And take your hands onto your hips. Drop down a little low. From there, as you're low, look at your right foot. Start to release your hands to frame that right foot. Lift your left heel over the toes and step back into downward dog. From downward dog, make your way into a plank. Bring your knees down. Cross your ankles and sit behind your heels. Extend your legs out straight. My kids are upstairs. They sound like a bunch of elephants right now. But we will proceed with a Marichasana twist. The right heel is going to come in toward the sitting bone. Right knee pointing straight up. And then drag that right sitting bone back. Reach your left arm around to the outside of the right thigh. Right the fingertips back behind you. Look over your right shoulder. Breathe into that constriction of the belly. Take an inhale into your belly. Exhale, unwind, and extend your right leg back out straight. We'll do the other side. Left heel comes in pretty close to the sitting bone if you can. Bring that left sitting bone back in alignment with the left heel. And then wrap the right arm around. Take your left fingertips behind you. You can have that right hand open. Lift up tall, look over your left shoulder. Breathe into that constriction of the belly. Keep feeling that right thigh bone dropping toward the earth. Lift up through the crown of the head. Inhale, belly. Exhale, around back to center. Extend your left heel straight out. Take a little bounce and gently reach forward for your toes. Paschimottanasana. Moving the chest forward toward the feet. And then slowly belly in. Palms up, make your way back. And we're coming down onto the back. When you're on your back, let's go ahead and hug both knees in. Give a little squeeze. Make some circles with the knees. Massage your back out on the ground. Good. And then release your feet mat width distance apart. Let your knees knock in to touch. Rest your hands on your ribs. Close your eyes. Let your tongue relax away from the roof of the mouth. Let your eyes relax. Your jaw relax so the teeth are parted. And we'll start to just gently windshield wiper your knees side to side, massaging out your lower back. When your knees come back in, let them knock in again. And find this final posture. This is our Shavasana. We're taking constructive rest for our final meditation. If you want to extend your legs out, you could also do that. Let your lower back be really broad. You can stay as long as you like here. Taking time to unwind. And let all the movement you did integrate and metabolize throughout the body. Remembering your intention for practice today or any insight you want to bring with you off the mat today. And when you feel ready, roll over to your left-hand side, resting the head in the crook of the arm. Take an inhale, exhale, let it out. Let the floor absorb anything you want to release. And then take your time gradually to press on up. So let's sit in an upright seat. I'm going to sit today, I think, in Virasana to even the hips out. So we're sitting on the heels so both the hip points are equal. And then take your hands, rest them on the belly. Noticing the breath. Inviting gratitude for anything at all today. And I'm always wishing you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, trust on the journey. And I'm just so grateful for you for practicing. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Drop me a comment, subscribe, all those great things really help this channel grow and thrive. Take care.